Freedom. Something America claims to be all about. Well, folks in this country love to debate that memo. Although it is true you can overall say whatever you want without some sort of hefty fine. And everyone does own a gun. But the word free is far and few between in America. Hell, they even slap a price tag on expired shit. Well, people have had enough, and doing just anything they possibly can to reclaim that sexy word, freedom. And in this video, we're going to hear a few perspectives on that today. So if you personally feel like you relate to anything discussed in this video, or you just simply like content like this, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts and opinions below, and subscribe to see my future videos like this. I upload every day or multiple times per week around 12 p.m. Central Time. Now let's begin.
Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice.
And that's a hard thing to grasp as the older you get and the more adult you become. This is the GOAT, George Carlin. Rest in peace. He's passed for a while now, but he always spits more so conspiracy-esque, reality-based, discussions when his comedy sets versus, comedy. But it does have some humor to it because that's how you really spread this type of information that is hard to deal with for some.
You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls.
It's pretty scary out there, though. It seems like they pretty much own the media, they own the corporations, they own everything. And once you try to get up there, you become one of them.
They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
I think it's the meme is the joke of Americans from the outside world, people outside of America, that Americans are dumb and fat. And more so or less, that is the truth for many. But there are some critical thinkers, and I feel like now that the internet's more of a thing, people can more get knowledge on their own. They can do their own studying, whichever subjects that they like, without having to pay $20,000 in debt per semester through the internet. So more people are becoming more critical thinkers. I would like to say so myself.
That's against their interest. That's right.
America, we view ourselves as like being the freest country in the world, and we definitely aren't. There are many other countries where you can basically do whatever you want all the time.
I think that's
we can't do that here.
Crazy.
Whether it's all right, so now we're going to get into the concept of freedom and how America, even me being born American, US of A, you can see my shirt right here. Rock on, hell yeah. It's kind of bizarre to think how we're just kind of graved into our brains how we are the freest country in the world. Not realizing there are many other countries that have different types of freedoms. We might be the only one that has this said freedom of speech, freedom to bear arms. I don't know if that's even the truth or the only people to have that, but maybe I should do some more research for making this type of videos. This is just discussion content topics. You can feel free to school me and let me know all the true knowledge in the comments. You guys usually do anyway. But now this might offend some people, this video right here, but I believe that we do have many freedoms in this country. And I feel very blessed to be born in America. But also, do I really feel that way because I haven't experienced other countries? We're going to get other perspectives on that from people who have lived outside the country versus America and further along this video. So let's continue.
Crazy or not, it's more free.
No, okay.
The fact that I literally can't open a beer bottle outside and take a sip, that literally is against the law. That's crazy.
You can on your own property, but I guess to an extent. You can't really be publicly intoxicated if that's what he's trying to point out.
Most other countries in the world, you can just walk around and do whatever you want when you're outdoors.
Laws doesn't mean you're not free.
Of course it does.
Then go to another country if you want to.
No, you can't.
I'm okay with
that's
law.
Why I am okay with laws as well. I'm not saying America needs to be more free. I'm just saying people are under a misconception.
No.
So why are we the freest country?
We're not in a misconception.
Why are we the freest country in the world?
Just like you're free in your household, there are certain rules that we have as your parent, but you
free-ish.
Learned that America.
That is kind of the thing right there, is that laws really are what conceptualizes the idea of freedom, is what you can and cannot do. It's kind of funny how we use the idea of being able to drink on the go, because I know there are in many countries, especially in third world countries, you can do whatever you want per se. But then the punishments of certain crimes are a lot more severe. It's not just tickets. Now, the thing about America is everything's based around money. The economy is number one. So no matter what you do, if you have enough money, you can just pay it off pretty much. But many people don't have that sort of money. It's kind of like the small population has all the money, the The rest are just kind of get by, But apparently, this guy's now that this fella right here has experienced the outside world. He's saying that America is a third world country. Change his mind.
Is a third world country because of the rest of the world is so far in front of us in just about everything that I don't know where we have this false narrative that we're like the greatest country in the world, because we are definitely not, guys. Yeah, I'm sad to go back. There are so many countries out there that are just leaps and bounds in front of us in technology, society, everything. We should probably start spending a lot more money on building our country rather than trying to save everybody else, because we're not that great, guys. I can tell you firsthand, we are.
Now, I agree, America's not perfect. Let alone, I don't think anywhere nobody really is. Let's be really honest. But at the same time, it's funny how he said he's disappointed. He's not looking forward to returning back to his country, which I'm guessing is America. Sounds what I think that's what he's trying to say. Um, Fair enough. I do dream to experience other parts of the world, but I always plan to come back to America because it is where I grew up. It is my home. It'll always be home, no matter how bad it gets. And I feel like it's better to try to fix up what you got going for you versus just trying to leave and let it rot. So I don't think this whole country's trash. I just think that, it's kind of crazy how divided the splits are becoming, whether that's politically, even people don't want to talk to their neighbors anymore. People kind of just keep inside. They go on their phone and talk to somebody else a few states away. It's weird how the world is right now. It's crazy times.
Not doing great. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all I got to say about that topic for now. But yeah, I think anybody that's, flown to any other major city in the world can kind of speak to that as well.
You're not depressed, you just live in the US.
You're not depressed. You just live in the US. Ponder on that for a second.
I left the US and moved to a tiny country in Europe, and I'm never coming back. The main reason is the freedom. Americans take an average of 11 paid time off days for the entire year. And America's the only developed country that doesn't have to pay you for your time off. The UK gets 6 weeks, France, 5 weeks, Spain, 1 month. People are just way more traveled, happy, and educated in other countries because their government literally allows them to be. And living abroad has made me realize how much of a working machine you are in the US, whereas people here just get to enjoy life way more.
You see, I feel like the older I get, the more I start to realize how the system works. A lot of countries do like to, give grants, certain different scholarships for people to go to college, become better people with their careers, become more paid, because it all goes back into the economy. It all goes, and if people have better jobs, let's say if people choose to be cops, doctors, lawyers versus entrepreneurs, they're more helping the system. They're pushing up the system that's already been made versus not fair enough. Entrepreneurs can also help out of the system if they're doing certain things, but a lot of people are doing, like, let's say they're making smoke shops and liquor stores. They don't even gas stations. That only helps the economy so much. It helps the economy, but not necessarily the greater good of the society. So, some countries like to focus on that and help out the greater good of the society by helping people go to college for cheaper or even pay for it, and other things. But there are also many countries that have mandatory military for 2 years or for 2 to 4 years, and for all males. I'm not sure about females. That might be changing since everybody wants to be equal. We'll see what happens. But it is crazy. But I always think it's also kind of bizarre how everything always gets based back to money. Like, she's really going on and on about how many days off they get per year. It's all about work. It's all anybody thinks about is how much work do I not have to go in? How many days can I stay home and scroll through my phone? How many days do I have more with my family versus clocking in thinking about my family and how we're going to afford it?
They're also way more connected to their families. Like, people here live with their parents until they get married, and it's totally normal. There are so many tourists from all over the world at beaches and restaurants because, for one, travel is really, really cheap. I just went to Spain and the flight cost me $90. People in Europe have way more PTO because they're people, not just employees. And they can afford to travel around on a normal
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be more normalized here to be shacking up back with your folks. I've been saying that in many videos. I've moved back in the family a little under a year ago. So I actually have experienced this myself, where I've been moving back in the family, shacking back up with the folks, and I think it'll be more common. It'll be more common courtesy versus, you know, before it was you get moved out at 18 and everybody was on their own because that's how they can fill up more places. But there's not as many places to go around, and the more they build them, the higher the cost they are, and the less you can afford them. even some places around here, I was talking to my brother the other day, they're like $2,200 a month, but if you even work at the place right next door, because the reason why it costs so much, and it's like we're talking about $2,200 for a studio apartment. It's right on the main inner city line, and yeah, there's a bunch of stores right across the street, but you would have to work at 2 or 3 of those jobs just to be able to maintain the price of that apartment and be able to, let's say, save. Because I think it's supposed to see your housing cost supposed to be like 30% of your income. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just going off of things I've seen online because that the internet never lies, right? No, but for real though, it is pretty kind of ironic how they are building new different places for people to shack up in, but they're making it so overpriced where it's not even really possible to move in or even enjoy these places. And now, fair enough, they are really nice and they are in really nice locations. I guess some of the time, not always. It's just kind of bizarre to think about that, but anyway, I do appreciate you guys' love and support. I would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions down below in the comments about any of this stuff. Freedom, if you feel like there is freedom in the U.S., if you feel like there is overall this concept of freedom, that's the main word here. But yeah, anyway, please let me know down below in the comments. And if you are outside of the U.S., what you think about the U.S. Because I know there are a lot of people who have different opinions, and it'd be cool to hear those out. So yeah, a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters who support me over on there, and my channel memberships. You can see these videos early and access them before the public does. And you can DM me personally over on Patreon. And yeah, thank you for everybody who supports the content no matter what. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.